Warning, the following episode is a work of fictional horror and may contain numerous horror elements, such as mentions of significant bodily harm, death, gore, otherworldly beings and powers, and sudden loud noises. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, this is Gaia, though you may know me better by the name of Dr. Robin. I'm the founder, producer, co-host, and co-scripter of Welcome to the Foundation. While our team works on the final episode, despite how long it's been, we thought we would produce a couple more bonus episodes. This bonus episode is happening just after episode 5, where Dr. Robin disappeared for a week, but before they handled the D-Class history, which was episode 6. These aren't meant to be canon episodes so much as just interesting and fun within the universe, a bit of a side to the story. So, please enjoy the episode, and I'll see you in the finale. Shit. I leave for a week, and suddenly things have gotten dark around here. Tess barely wants to speak with me. Sera seems excited, but almost as if she's traumatized. I really need to do something to cheer everyone up. What did we used to do here before everything happened? We did pizza nights, but that's every night now. We did outings, but yeah, that's not happening. We did long weekends, but again, that just keeps people stuck in here, and that means we won't be helping people when we really need to. I need to think. What did we do? Wait. Didn't Dr. M start up a holiday celebration initiative right before everything happened? They went on a journey to Site 17 just before... Yeah. I know that site is still somewhat operational too, and I've talked with her recently enough. I wonder... Screw it. Let's just bring up the video conference software.
Dr. Robin. It's been like 3 weeks since you called. To what do I owe the pleasure?
M, wonderful. It's been quite a time here. I hope you're doing well. Listen, I've been having a bit of a problem. I had to leave the site for a week, and things have gotten pretty dark and depressing over here while I was gone. Before everything, I know you were starting some sort of holiday initiative here at the site, but I never really got the chance to participate. Would you be able to help me bring some of that energy here?
Well, of course. I was just recently working on that over here too, though it's been quite difficult to prepare things. I was just thinking of a Halloween setup, actually. But if you're going to do this, I'll need to teach you. Hold on. I have some files here. Wonderful. I'm sending files your way now. Get ready. This is going to be a lot of reading.
Okay, I have everything set up. What's the plan?
Okay, so if we want to do a mini-site Halloween, I'm going to need to teach you what an anomalous Halloween looks like. So I gathered all of the Halloween-like files I could find, and we're going to run through them in order.
You do realize I have celebrated Halloween before, right? And I've worked here for decades. I know what a monster looks like.
Can you even remember the last time you celebrated Halloween?
Well, of course. It was, probably 20... no.
Point proven. You're a bit hopeless, so leave this to me. Let's do this right. We have to cover decorations, candy, costumes, and monsters.
Okay. That makes sense, I think.
Great. Start here. This file only loosely discusses decorations, but should give you an idea. It also gives you a good idea for monsters and themes. Start reading.
Item number, SCP-3540. Object Class, Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. A list of all possible locations where SCP-3540 may occur should be compiled throughout the month of September. Once the event begins, a mixture of satellite imagery and ground surveillance should be used to identify the property undergoing the SCP-3540 event. Once identified, SCP-3540's location should be monitored throughout its active phase. Contact with sapient entities associated with the anomaly is allowed as needed. Agents embedded in local authorities are to intercept any reporting on the anomalous phenomenon from local or national news agencies and rewrite or edit the articles and segments to remove SCP-3540, SCP-3540-1, or SCP-3540-2. Foundation personnel in the local government are to encourage the community to have trick-or-treating events in early November instead of the traditional October 31st, citing weather, commercial, or other reasons. Residual psychoactive and amnestic compounds are to be added to the water supplies in the locations where SCP-3540 is active. Once the event has concluded, disinformation teams are to ensure all inhabitants do not retain memory of SCP-3540. Description: SCP-3540 is an annual phenomenon affecting abandoned properties in suburban neighborhoods throughout the continental United States that lasts for the entirety of October. A number of factors appear to correlate with where the phenomenon occurs, mostly pertaining to the demographics and location of the neighborhood, such as a low rate of crime, an above-average population of children below the age of 10, and a close proximity to both cemeteries and trendy or popular dining establishments. The majority of properties involved in SCP-3540 events were previously owned by individuals who have recently died. A house affected by SCP-3540 will begin to undergo a number of changes to both its internal and external appearance. Externally, a large number of Halloween decorations will appear in the yard and on the outward walls of the structure. Although the decorations mimic common store-bought materials, they are actually authentic, non-synthetic articles. The house will also appear to undergo a full renovation and restoration throughout the SCP-3540 event, despite no actual work or construction being observed. Internally, the house will manifest furniture in the rooms, dark curtains on the windows, and appropriate appliances for general living and welfare. During an SCP-3540 event, the house will appear to be occupied by a pair of humanoid entities, designated SCP-3540-1 and SCP-3540-2. SCP-3540-1 refers to itself Maurice, and 2 refers to itself as Lance. These entities are generally seen wearing long, black robes with large hoods that obscure their heads and faces. The entities cannot be physically seen during the day, but after sunset, they will manifest in various parts of the house and will engage in typical household chores and common activities, including cleaning, preparing and consuming meals, folding laundry, and SCP-3540-1 and 2 are amiable with staff and will often invite them in for dinner. These entities will often make claim to frequent local restaurants or shops. However, no evidence has been found to corroborate these statements. Addendum: on 21/10/2017, Agents K. Giddings contacted 1 and 2 due to their decorations violating several minor zoning laws. The two entities recognize Giddings from previous events and invited her inside the house. The conversation has been recorded below. Begin log.
Hello? Oh, Kate! It's great to see you again. I thought you lived over in Montana. What are you doing in this neck of the woods? Oh, my partner had to move, so I moved with her. But I'm working with the city, and I just wanted to let you know that... Lance! You'll never guess who's here. Come say hi.
SCP-3540-2 enters from the kitchen doorway and waves at Agent Giddings.
No, it's fine. I just had to let you know that some of your decorations... Oh, don't worry about it, Kay. Come in. We found this really great tea shop, and you have to try this Jun May we got. According to the guy who runs the place, it's from the Wu Yi mountain area. It's just fantastic. I, need to ask my boss first.
That's fine. I'm gonna go start boiling water anyways, cause damn, I forgot we had that stuff.
After conferring with her superior, Agent Giddings was given permission to enter the premises and interact with the entities. SCP-3540-1 leads the agent into the house and gestures towards a couch before entering the kitchen.
I'll be back in a jiffy. You want some sugar or cream or anything? No. No, thank you.
Agent Giddings begins to observe the room and move her body camera to record it. Decorations and souvenirs have been placed throughout the room, typically from cities in southern United States. Multiple pictures can be seen hung on the walls. However, there do not appear to be visible subjects in the pictures. Beside the door, 2 harvesting tools are hanging off hooks. After several minutes, the 2 entities return, carrying 3 mugs. SCP-3540-1 places one in front of Agent Giddings.
Sorry that took so long, Kay. Someone forgot to wash the dishes last night. Hey, don't blame this on me. I was putting up the decorations. You know, like you asked me to.
Actually, speaking of the decorations, I came over to tell you that you need to remove some of them. Some of your inflatables and a bunch of your cobwebs are in your neighbor's properties.
Both entities appear to look at each other for several seconds.
I told you that wasn't our tree.
No, I told you not to put stuff in that tree, Lance.
No. I very explicitly remember you telling me to, and I quote, cover that shit in web. And I said that it wasn't our tree, and then you yelled at me for ruining your aesthetic.
I'm at the house in the bushes. Why would I have meant the tree?
'Cause I thought that was where you were pointing. God, this is going to be a pain in the ass to clean out. I am so sorry, Kay. I'll get on that tomorrow.
Thank you. I really don't want to get you guys in trouble.
Actually, that reminds me. Kay, how long have you been in town?
Just since September.
Oh, wow. We've only been here since the 1st. But have you had the chance to try out that Barrio Steakhouse place off the highway? Their steaks are way better than they have any right to be. I actually knew the owner's grandfather. He was such a nice man. Super understanding when we had to take him.
No, that place is pretty expensive. I'd have to eat like a college student for a week to afford there.
Man, you are missing out. Usually me and Maury try not to go to the same place each year for vacation, but I am very tempted to convince him to come back here next year.
You will convince me of nothing.
Just like how I never convinced you to try that seafood joint in Charleston? That's different.
If you pardon me asking, this is your vacation? You guys do this every year?
Yep. Our jobs can be emotionally taxing, so we're forced to take 2 weeks off. But we just save our vacation from the rest of the year and take a whole month. It's great. Super relaxing.
We always take the same month off, too. Because we actually met in October at that funeral. And you know what we do, Kay? Halloween is like the holiday was made for us. I just love seeing the little kids in their costumes. It's just adorable. Makes it worth doing my job. They just delight me. I would love to adopt if I could, but the agencies never seem to like our paperwork. Well, this tea was lovely, but I have to head out. I still have some paperwork to file at the office.
Oh, that's fine. Thanks for stopping by. Tell your partner that we said hello. And feel free to come by anytime for dinner. Lance can make his chicken parmesan. That's to die for.
Good. Got the picture so far?
Yeah, I think so. So, haunted houses, right?
Right. Next, let's cover costumes. The company or group or person or whatever named Wondertainment seems to come up for every anomalous costume I've ever seen. So let's read that next. Get going.
Item number SCP-3992. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. All instances of SCP-3992 are to be kept in a standard containment locker at Site-17. Description: SCP-3992 is a number of children's Halloween face masks. Instances come in a range of designs portraying various Halloween-themed monsters. Instances are constructed out of simple plastic materials, paint, and string. Each instance bears a label reading Wondertainment Wacky Halloween Fun Masks on the interior. SCP-3992 instances do not display any anomalous properties when worn by a non-anomalous individual. However, when worn by an anomalous entity, it will appear to physically change into an adolescent humanoid of varying appearance. Any clothing worn by the wearer will appear to change into a costume fitting the SCP-3992 instance's appearance. Clothing will simply appear to manifest on entities that are not wearing anything. Anomalous entities wearing instances of SCP-3992 do not experience any actual physical changes, instead appearing to have become humanoid. Changes to an entity's appearance and manifested clothing cannot be physically felt, and affected entities may continue to function and interact with their surroundings as normal. Effects will cease when an SCP-3992 instance is removed. The physical appearance gained by wearers vary between subjects, differing in skin color and tone, hair, size, and gender. Discovery log. SCP-3992 was discovered in a house in Wisconsin, United States. The house had been seized by the Foundation under suspicion of anomalous activity originating from it. Among SCP-3992, several other anomalous items were found, a majority of which were wondertainment of origin. The previous residents of the house were found to have fled the area and still remain unfound. SCP-3992 was located in a cardboard box in the house's attic among several Halloween decorations. As of note, the name Stanley was found written on the inside of SCP-3992-6, a vampire mask. Records show a child by the same name to have been one of the house's previous residents. The following document was found along with SCP-3992.
To our most loyal of customers during the most spooky of seasons, we at Dr. Wondertainment would like to give to you a very special gift in accordance with the holidays. For your continued loyalty over the years, we would like to present a very special treat to those of you who might find it rather difficult to fit in. We at Wondertainment believe in embracing what others may consider strange and spooky. There are too many wonders in this world locked away by those who just don't understand or find the abnormal too scary. We know firsthand that it can be troublesome accepting who you are, especially in a world of the mundane, so we come with wonderful news that just for one night, you may go out and celebrate the strange and the scary without worry of what others may think of you. For our customers out there who struggle with these feelings on a daily basis, we have decided to give you a special free of charge reward this Halloween. A little something to show our gratitude for your continued support. In this box, you will find a complete set of our new Wondertainment Wacky Halloween Fun Masks. Celebrate this Halloween with a costume so amazingly convincing, you won't even be able to recognize yourself. Have fun out there, kids. Try not to wander into any dark forest while trick-or-treating. And if you run into a headless fellow along the way, give him a good hello from us at Dr. Wondertainment. We miss you a lot, old friend. We hope you're being taken good care of. Dr. Wondertainment.
Addendum 3992-1. Testing of SCP-3992 on several other SCP objects was suggested as a means of discovering the range of its effects when used on anomalous entities of varying physical nature. Approval of various SCP objects for testing was authorized. Test 3992-1-02, SCP-2006, taking the form of Creature from the Haunted Sea. SCP-3992 instance, Werewolf Mask. Results. SCP-2006 appeared as an adolescent male humanoid wearing a torn plaid shirt and jeans. A pair of rubber gloves resembling clawed hands with gray fur appeared on its hands. Notes. SCP-2006 was asked to change its physical appearance during the test in order to see how the effects of SCP-3992 would react to its shape-changing abilities. Several changes to size, skin tone, and hair occurred, but remained humanoid throughout. SCP-2006 refused to remove the mask at first, but eventually complied once researchers assured that it was nowhere near as scary as its previous form. Test 2. Subject SCP-2662. Instance: a witch mask. Results. SCP-2662 took the form of an adolescent female. It appeared dressed in a black spiderweb-themed costume, complete with a painted witch hat and holding a broomstick, which disappeared along with the perceived effects of SCP-3992-2 when removed. To note is SCP-2662's appearance as a female rather than male. This is believed to have occurred due to SCP-3992-2 resembling a generic female witch. Notes. SCP-2662 commented on the whole physical change to be, quote, rather uncomfortable. It later assured that what it had stated previously was not meant in any way to come off as disrespectful or insensitive, stating it had nothing against females and they could be cultists if they desired. Test 3. Subject, SCP-1279-1. Instance, Frankenstein's monster mask. Results. Instance of SCP-1279-1 appeared as a human male covered in green body paint wearing a Frankenstein's monster costume consisting of a black shirt and pants, torn gray coat and boots, and with a pair of metal bolts protruding from its neck. Instance appeared standing upright on its perceived legs. Upon removal of SCP-1279 from the instance, the effects ceased. Notes. Quote, interesting. 3992 must perceive 1279-1 as anomalous as long as it wears 1279. This may be the case when testing other similar anomalies. Test 4. Subject, SCP-2980-1. Instance, Devil Mask. Results. SCP-2980-1's physical age did not change. All abnormal features and body parts of SCP-2980-1 appeared to be replaced with pieces of costume clothing, including a fake red tail and a pair of boots resembling cloven feet. SCP-2980-1 took the form of a human male of unknown race, coated in red body paint. Notes. SCP-2980-1 commented on the effects of SCP-3992-4 to be rather humorous, but was, quote, nothing compared to the real thing. SCP-2980-1 later claimed to recognize the name Wondertainment. When questioned, it stated that the name bared a striking resemblance to that of a cousin's, quote, 3 times removed. SCP-2980-1 did not give any other useful information. Test 5. Subject, SCP-2287. Instance, Mummy Mask. Results. SCP-2287 appeared no longer headless. SCP-2287 appeared as a bald human male. A pair of green pupils were visible through SCP-3992-5's eye holes. Inspection showed its Mr. tattoo to be no longer present. No physical changes were present in the rest of SCP-2287's body, as it had no other physical abnormalities. SCP-2287's clothing was replaced by layers of yellow-tinted linen cloth, wrapped around its entire body, similar to an Egyptian mummy. Notes. Of significant note, SCP-2287's anomalous properties ceased functioning while wearing SCP-3992-5. Whether this is due to it being a Wondertainment product is unknown. SCP-2287 commented on finding the mask fun to wear, saying it was, quote, nice to see what it was like from the other end. SCP-2287 later asked if it was possible to wear SCP-3992-5 again at some point. The decision is currently pending. The effects may prove useful for the containment of its anomalous properties. Test 6. Subject, SCP-356. Instance, a vampire mask. Results. SCP-356 appeared as an adolescent Caucasian female with long pink hair. Costume consisted of a black cape and pants and a red velvet waistcoat. Notes. SCP-356 initially showed no signs of bodily movement, remaining in its passive state. However, after several seconds, SCP-956 visibly looked down at itself and began heavily retching. SCP-956 attempted to remove the mask with its perceived hands. When this failed, it began clawing at the mask violently until it was removed by an assisting D-Class. Addendum 3992-2. On the 29-09-2000, a package was found outside of Site-17, addressed to the Foundation. Inside were a second set of SCP-3992. Instances consisted of a skeleton, jack-o'-lantern, banshee, zombie, and a clown. The following note was included.
To the SCP Foundation, we see that you've been playing around with our product and approve of it greatly. It's nice to see you giving others a taste of the holidays, and we hope you're having fun with them yourselves. As a sign of gratitude for your vigorous testing of so many of our products, we present to you the newest batch of Wondertainment Wacky Halloween Fun Masks. The following set has not been officially released just yet, but we're hoping to get them out soon enough. We hope you'll share these with a few more of your guests and get some top-notch results. With all honesty, though, we make these products because many don't get the chance to experience a proper childhood, or even celebrate such a unique time of year. So during that magical time when the mundane blend with the uncanny, we want to celebrate it right and give a little more, because that's what it's all about, right? Yours, Dr. Wondertainment.
Masks that transform anomalies into people?
Hey, you're the one who asked for holidays. If you want us to celebrate, keep going. Or we can kill the whole idea here and let everything remain as dark as you envisioned.
No, let's continue. What's next?
We only really need to do one more. You can't have Halloween without weird stories and candy. Get reading.
Item number SCP-2523. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Annually on August 15th, Mobile Task Force Omicron 13 Trick or Treat is to be activated. MTFO-13 must begin a full Class W monastic treatment regimen no later than August 20th. MTFO-13 will begin the Class W dosage ramp down no earlier than November 7th and will stand down no earlier than November 15th. Activation may be extended up to 90 days at the discretion of the SCP-2523 project lead. Beginning on October 1st, MTFO-13 will conduct 24-hour observation of 8 sites affected by SCP-2523, designated as SCP-2523-A through -H, which will include the easternmost and westernmost affected locations, as well as one additional site chosen in each U.S. time zone. On October 31st, 1 hour prior to local sunset, MTFO-13 will deploy a 2-man contact team into each of the designated sites. As each location enters the anomaly, teams will confirm positive contact and passphrase with each other prior to carrying out mission operations. Contact teams are to be relieved every 8 hours for 24 hours. Ejected team members must be replaced immediately. All teams within the anomaly must confirm positive contact and passphrase during each relief or replacement. Team members are to attempt to prevent non-monetary purchases by civilians using low-profile social engineering techniques only. In the event that a civilian engages in non-monetary purchasing, they are to ascertain the civilian's identity and origin point and advise the support team. Support teams are to immediately locate and detain any civilians who have made non-monetary purchases. Purchased items are to be confiscated for study. Detained persons are to be interviewed and then released following amnesticization. Ejected contact team personnel are to be immediately reclassified as Class E personnel, debriefed, and quarantined for 366 days at a location at least 50 kilometers from any key Foundation assets. Survivors may return to duty pending approval by the reporting medical officer. Currently, detention of SCP-2523-1 entities is not authorized. In the event that authorization is reinstated, entities are to be secured with restraints consisting of a minimum 75% iron by mass. Description: SCP-2523 is a phenomenon affecting seasonal Halloween costuming and decoration stores in the US and Canada from sunset on October 31st to sunset on October 1st. It is restricted to stores which are entirely seasonal and does not affect Halloween displays in more permanent businesses. While the anomaly is active, the affected locations become spatially collocated, regardless of geographic separation. Store interiors will overlay where sufficiently similar. For example, similar displaying shelves will become a single shelf unit without duplication of products. Otherwise, the entire space expands as needed. Persons entering one location are able to physically interact with persons at all affected locations in real time, and return to their place of origin when exiting. The affected locations remain open for the full 24-hour period, regardless of posted hours. At sunset, 4 to 6 entities, each designated SCP-2523-1, will appear and relieve all employees. Entities are diminutive humanoids, estimated to be between 0.8 and 1.2 meters in height, with a variety of chimerical features from various vertebrates, as well as limbs and extremities that vary in proportion. See Appendix A for more detail. These entities carry out routine retail operations, except for attempting to persuade customers to make non-monetary exchanges. At the end of this 24-hour period, they are relieved by scheduled human employees who typically begin closing the store for the season. Exposed persons will rationalize all anomalous properties of SCP-2523, including those of trades, entities, and objects originating from the anomaly, as entirely normal experiences. This effect extends to direct conversation with the affected persons, as well as photographs and other direct recordings. This is an anti-memetic effect that Class W monastic treatment, combined with conscious reaffirmation of observed details, has been demonstrated to neutralize. When a customer attempts to purchase an item during the anomaly, SCP-2523-1 entities will attempt to persuade them to not use monetary means to purchase the item. Instead, the entity will ask for a trade. Entities have accepted physical objects as well as more abstract concepts as fair trades. This included hair, personal abilities, years of life, children, illegal drugs, memories, and emotions. For a full list, see Appendix B. If the customer insists on paying with money, the entity will, with visible reluctance, accept. Customers appear to have permanently lost the traded quality in all cases that it was testable. Any item acquired by non-monetary means will manifest significantly anomalous properties. The following is a partial list. Item: prosthetic vampire fangs. Properties: wearer develops an uncontrollable desire to consume blood, as well as the ability to induce a state of extreme suggestibility via conversation. Exchanged for 30 grams of heroin. Item: a dark chocolate candy bar. Anomalous properties: after consuming the bar, the subject lost all interest in food and did not show any signs of starvation despite consuming nothing else for 28 days. Exchanged for the memory of a childhood family trip. Item: 300 plastic spiders. Anomalous properties: purchaser was inspired to consume the spiders. Following consumption of a spider, subject was able to excrete an otherwise non-anomalous living banded spider from bodily orifices and direct it telepathically. Exchanged for the ability to sing. Item: quote, sexy nurse costume. Anomalous properties: wearer demonstrated markedly decreased sexual inhibitions as well as increased attractiveness to the opposite sex. Sexual partners reported mild anesthetic effects. Exchanged for an 8-year-old boy. Current whereabouts are unknown. Item: decorative trick mirror. Properties: entities visible in the mirror are deceased persons or pets known to the viewer. Exchanged for empathy. Item: bag of roasted pumpkin seeds. Anomalous properties: seeds originate from SCP-097. Exchanged for a tattoo depicting the rank chevrons of a United States Navy Petty Officer First Class. Tattoo was removed without scarring. Addenda. Ejection events. The first ejection event occurred during initial containment on 11-01-1999 at 0110 hours, and is typical of all later ejection events. Agent Mugnaini attempted to physically block the entrance to the anomaly. An SCP-2523-1 entity emerged and asked Agent Mugnaini to leave. Mugnaini refused and began to suffer significant full-body pain, which increased in intensity until he complied. Afterwards, Mugnaini reported having, quote, bad luck, and statistical analysis determined that he, and the area he was in, was suffering a significant high number of unforeseen circumstances. Afterwards, Mugnaini reported having, quote, bad luck, and statistical analysis determined that he, and the area in which he was stationed, were suffering a significantly high number of unfortunate coincidences. This condition ended with his death in a car accident on 01/25/2000. It is suspected as a contributing factor in 17 injuries, 4 fatalities, and 1 Category 3 breach event at the area. Further testing has determined that this effect persists for 366 days. Once ejected, personnel are unable to re-enter the anomaly, even after the 366-day period has expired. Log. Detention of SCP-2523-1 entity. Interviewed. SCP-2523-1 entity with name tag reading Bobby Goodman. Interviewer, Agent Rossetti. Forward. On 10/31/2001 at 2000 hours, MTF-013 agents abducted an SCP-2523-1 entity to Site-17 for questioning and containment. It is described as having canine ears, a primate muzzle, and disproportionately long arms and legs. Entity was successfully secured with iron restraints. 3 O13 members were ejected from the anomaly as a consequence of the operation. Begin log.
So, Bobby, would you like to tell me about where you work?
I don't work, human. I sell things.
Tell me about the things you sell then.
We sell delicious things, wonderful things, things of joy and darkness, things from the land of youth, things from the land of death, and the things that come from the border country. Come by.
Who are you?
You humans, always so forgetful. Such a delight. At summer's end, the gates of the border country are opened wide. We have come to sell our wares at this time, as we did in the... What is your word for the places in the shadow that cannot be reached from the now? The past? We are the in-between people. The border people. Vassals neither to hot, radiant summer or cold, merciless winter. We are the autumn people.
Why only seasonal Halloween stores and not others?
Oh, the in-between places. They're ours. They too live only here, in the edge of summer.
Why do you prefer to trade things and not money?
Money has no value. It is only a medium of exchange. We crave only things of value. For these we can trade in the world. How do you think we get the things we sell? We are the autumn people, not cobblers.
Are you aware that the things you sell are problematic for humans?
Yes, of course they are. We are merry people. Our wares are mirthful.
End log. Closing statement. Following the interview, the entity was transferred to a humanoid containment unit and was extremely cooperative. At sunset, on 11/01/2001, the entity vanished from containment, leaving behind a crude doll made of rough, unworked oak sticks, clothing scraps, and mineral clay. All milk products at Site-17 were reported to have instantly spoiled simultaneously with this event. This is just Spirit Halloween with extra steps.
Yup. And?
Look, this is all great, but how exactly is this supposed to help cheer everyone up? It's all so depressing. Sure, costumes are funny and treats are nice, but all these files cover is death, drugs, and pain. How will this fix things?
Halloween is all about overcoming your fear of death, monsters, and pain. It celebrates the life you have and gives you an excuse to eat more sugar than you could ever imagine.
Didn't you used to do that anyways?
Shut it, you. Look, do you want to celebrate or not?
I don't know. Don't you have anything more positive?
Hey guys, I overheard you both talking and thought that I might step in. Did you know that Santa is an SCP? And actually, there are 2 Santas. Take a look.
SCP 4255 and 6483. Okay. Well, let's read them.
Fine. I'll consider one Santa file.
Item number SCP-4255. Object class Keter. Level 4/4255 classified. Special containment procedures. Due to widespread knowledge of the base anomalous properties of SCP-4255, it has been given the secondary classification of a cracked veil uncontained anomaly. In order to suppress further information of SCP-4255, Procedure UL-2 has been created. Procedure Yule 2 occurs as follows. Annually, on 12 p.m. UTC, November 22nd, memetic agents are to be implemented into all forms of media, including television programs, new works of literature, Foundation front accounts on social media websites, and various forms of performing and visual arts. These memetic agents are designed to implant false memories into parents or guardians of any children who celebrate the holiday Christmas. These memories include the purchasing of gifts that will be given to their children by SCP-4255 on December 25th, and the placing of said gifts on that night by SCP-4255. Any individuals which have been unaffected by the memetic treatment described above are to be located and manually treated. Starting on 8 p.m. UTC, December 24th, 2 unarmed military aircrafts are to locate, track, and follow all temporal versions of SCP-4255 and make note of any noticeable changes in behavior from SCP-4255. Lethal force is not permitted when interacting with SCP-4255. When all versions have vanished, all Foundation interference is to cease. After 12 UTC, December 25th, social media is to be tracked for any images of or accounts with SCP-4255, and images or conspiracy theories centered around Procedure Yule 2. Any offending pieces of information are to be labeled as hoax or erased, with the publishers being located and treated to Class A amnestics. In extreme cases, all viewers of any information described above are to be treated with Class A amnestics, with all social media being cleansed of any information on SCP-4255 or Procedure Yule 2 that these cases could spawn. The following text has been crossed off. Efforts to partake in a secondary interview with SCP-4255 are to be attempted, as SCP-4255 seems to possess valuable information on controllable temporal anomalies and on the historical future of the human race. Description: SCP-4255 is a humanoid male with an aged appearance, approximately 1.4 meters in height and 150 kilograms in weight. SCP-4255 appears to be in his 60s to 70s. However, reports of SCP-4255 manifestations have dated back to 400 AD. SCP-4255 possesses an appearance similar to the traditional attire of the character Santa Claus, along with the red and gold ornate sleigh that this character is known to be present in, designated SCP-4255-1. SCP-4255-1 is capable of flight via unknown means, and is able to travel at speeds of approximately 100 km per hour, with SCP-4255 remaining inside of SCP-4255-1 during flight, even when scientifically impossible. SCP-4255-1 is drawn by 8 cervid animals resembling Rangifer tarandus, otherwise known as reindeer. Although infrared scans show that these do not possess any heat signatures, and it is currently unknown if these are actually living organisms. SCP-4255 manifestations periodically occur at 8 p.m. UTC, December 24th each year, during which the instances will appear somewhere approximately 1 kilometer in the air above Earth's surface in SCP-4255-1. SCP-4255 and/or-1 appear to possess the ability to generate small-scale temporal anomalies. During its appearances, as many as 294 versions of itself are present on across the globe at once, with many versions possessing visual differences that have not yet occurred to SCP-4255 from a linear standpoint. SCP-4255 manifestations appear to follow a similar pattern of events after its initial appearance. SCP-4255 will land on the roof or near a household of individuals to celebrate the holiday Christmas, regardless of their actual religious background, and will use its temporal abilities to enter the household. SCP-4255 will then produce a multitude of wrapped gifts and toys, with number of gifts given varying from child to child. It is also of note that SCP-4255 has a significant understanding of the likes and dislikes of each child on Earth, with presents given having a 82.56% accuracy rate compared to what the children would have liked to receive for a gift at that time. All recorded gifts have been non-anomalous, with SCP-4255 actively avoiding the giving of gifts a child wants if it could be classified as anomalous. SCP-4255 will repeat this pattern until all children who celebrate Christmas on the planet have received at least one gift from it. Attempts to approach SCP-4255 or SCP-4255-1 in an effort to capture either anomaly on the ground or in the sky have resulted in failure, with SCP-4255 using its temporal abilities to evade capture. Addendum 4255-1. Before an SCP-4255 manifestation on the year 2018, several houses of Foundation personnel were equipped with audio transmission devices, which were then used to make an official direct contact with SCP-4255 for the first time on record. Beginning log SCP-4255-1. Interviewed SCP-4255. Interviewer Researcher Mayor. Begin log.
Hello? Can you hear me? This is researcher Charlotte Mayer. I come from an organization which...
The SCP Foundation. They told me I'd run into you guys today. Aren't you the people always trailing in those jets? Those things are fucking loud up close, you know.
The SCP Foundation? Yes. Who do you mean by they?
Oh, well, it's probably going to mess up time and cause some butterfly effect shit. But they told me to tell you guys this. For some reason, well, they're called the U.S. Department of Chronology. Pretty stupid name if you ask me. Chronology sounds like the most sci-fi-ish thing ever. What year is it right now? I want to make sure I don't say anything too major.
2018?
Oh, God. Well, they said they were some government branch that keeps check over time travel and stuff, and well, they sort of forced me to do this. I like to go find stuff from the past and, well, take it. I had one of Hitler's paintings before, a block from those pyramids that were in Africa, you know, stuff like that.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow. What does this have to do with you being...
I'm getting to that, just give me a sec. So one day, some government cronies come and took me away. I thought I was being careful, I did, but I guess not careful enough. Probably have some way to detect time travel. Anyway, they told me I had to do this. Looked like I got off easy. But this got boring after a while. Been doing this for like 2.5 years. One Christmas every day.
I see. So, do you have a real name then?
Stan Klain. I haven't been born yet. That's always a weird thing to say. You probably know me as Santa or something like that. You tell a kid your name in the 5th century, and the half-deaf little shit tells everyone your name is Santa Claus. I hope some crazy government shoots me out of the sky so I can get this hell over with.
If you're a, time traveler, then when are you from?
2099.
Huh. Well then, how do you have such a good understanding of each child's wants for the holiday? Is this some sort of future technology?
Not sure I can tell you that. I've caused enough paradoxes with this one interview already. Wait, are you guys going to put this in a document or something?
Yes, this will be logged and...
Shit! That's how they knew. They read this damn log.
Excuse me?
I ain't saying anything else.
Closing statement. SCP-4255 refused all efforts to cooperate with questioning after the events of this interview, and instead yelled obscenities at the interviewers when attempts to question were made. No records of a Stan Klain matching SCP-4255's description have been found. Addendum 4255-2. On September 4th, 2097, The Foundation Department of Chronology was formed after the discovery of a replicable, controllable travel non-linearly through time was discovered. After parallels between SCP-4255's described host organization and the newly formed department were made, Stan Klain, a man matching the physical description of SCP-4255, was tracked and placed in the Foundation custody. It was later found that Klain had access to a temporal anomaly, allowing him to travel through time non-linearly. To avoid a possible CK-class reality reconfiguration scenario, or PT-class paradoxical time breakdown scenario, the Foundation is to give Klain the full capabilities to perform the actions of SCP-4255, along with the recorded appearance of SCP-4255. A large sleigh, built to the specifications of SCP-4255-1, was created using several anomalies, making it capable of controllable flight, along with the sleigh and Klain being equipped with devices designed to create small-scale temporal anomalies. 8 heat-resistant models resembling the now-extinct Rankifer Tyrannodus were attached to the front of the sleigh in a manner that suggests they are pulling the craft behind them. Gifts given are to be produced via the BTKAI, Beta Temporal Knowledge Artificial Intelligence Unit, an AI created by the Foundation that uses time anomalies to know all information from across linear time frame. While the BTKAI unit currently only knows information up to, this number is known to change at a rate that will be constant enough for Klain to fulfill his duties. All other information into the BTKAI unit is classified. Klain will finish his role as SCP-4255 on the Christmas of year 21.
So, what did you think?
Yeah, screw that. Hey, Tess, can you get some decorations? We're gonna celebrate Halloween in here. And as we close, I would like to give a special thank you to those in real life who made this episode possible. In particular, I would like to thank Kevin MacLeod, who made the music that you could hear in this episode. You can listen to his music and more at incomptech.com. As well, I would like to thank our many voice actors, including Emily, who played the role of Agent K and the 2 doctors, John, who played both Santas and Bobby, Peach, who played Maurice, Agent Rossetti, and Agent Mayer, and Esme, who played Lance and the Masked Salesman. I would also like to thank my 2 co-hosts, Taya, who plays the role of Sera, and Kit, who plays the role of Tess. And finally, I would like to thank the many authors whose work was used in this episode, including Deadly Bread, Lord XVNV, Pepper's Ghost, and the Box of Fun, who made the Holiday Hub where I got all of these files, May D, who wrote SCP-3540, Don't Queer the Reaper, Penton, who wrote SCP-3992, Wondertainment Wacky Halloween Fun Mass, Sir Pudding, who wrote SCP-2523, Goblin Market, Lament, who wrote SCP-4255, Santa Claus the Time Traveler, and Lord XVNV and Ralliston, who wrote SCP-6483, The Polar Express.